Sometimes the smallest shifts in our daily routines can make the biggest difference in how we feel. If you've ever found yourself wishing for easier digestion, more stable energy, or even just a more comfortable day-to-day life after 75, you're not alone. Many older adults struggle with getting enough dietary fiber, and conventional wisdom often misses a simple yet satisfying option: polenta. This traditional cornmeal dish might just hold the key to unlocking better digestive health and more consistent energy levels. It's a comfort food that can be dressed up or down, and when prepared wisely, it provides a gentle, tasty way to boost your fiber intake. As we move into our late 70s and beyond, health goals change. Some people worry about constipation or gut discomfort. Others feel tired by midday, unsure why their energy dips so suddenly. There's also the concern of maintaining a balanced diet when our appetites aren't what they used to be. When these challenges pile up, they can chip away at our independence, turning simple joys like going for a walk or spending an afternoon gardening into more daunting tasks than they need to be. Why does this matter? Fiber plays a significant role in keeping our digestive systems regular, but the benefits don't stop there. It helps regulate blood sugar levels, which in turn supports more consistent energy. It also contributes to heart health by aiding in cholesterol management. That means less discomfort from indigestion, fewer unexpected energy crashes, and, quite often, more confidence to enjoy the activities you love. Because when your body functions more smoothly, everything from social outings to household tasks can become more manageable and enjoyable. You might be thinking, I've tried fiber supplements and cereals. How is polenta any different? While packaged cereals and fiber powders can help, they can also get monotonous or come with added sugars. Polenta, on the other hand, is a blank canvas. It's made from ground cornmeal, a naturally gluten-free grain that has a moderate amount of fiber on its own. But when you pair it with the right ingredients, you can multiply its benefits significantly. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore 4 creative ways to incorporate more fiber into your diet using polenta as a base. Each method will challenge some common misconceptions, like believing high-fiber foods have to be bland or that our digestive issues are simply an unavoidable part of aging. You'll hear stories from people just like you who discovered that making one small dietary shift brought surprising rewards, physically and emotionally. And you'll gain practical steps for adding polenta-based dishes into your routine without feeling overwhelmed or breaking the bank. Think of this as an opportunity to reimagine the foods on your plate. By the end of this video, you'll have a set of straightforward strategies to help you feel lighter, more energized, and more hopeful about your long-term health. If you're ready to find out how a humble dish like polenta might open the door to new possibilities, both in the kitchen and in your daily life, keep watching. And as we go along, feel free to pause and reflect on which ideas resonate with you the most. That way, you can create a personalized approach that fits your taste and lifestyle. Before we dive into specifics, just remember, while these insights come from recognized nutritional guidelines and experiences shared by other seniors, everyone's health situation is unique. It's always wise to consult with a healthcare provider about major dietary changes, especially if you have any ongoing conditions or take medications. Having said that, let's get started on this culinary journey to better fiber intake, more enjoyment in our meals, and a life that feels a little bit fuller in every sense of the word. Let's begin with the first approach, one that many seniors overlook because it seems almost too simple: transforming polenta into a breakfast staple. First, consider the common belief that breakfast for older adults should be light, perhaps just toast and coffee, because our appetites aren't as robust as they once were. The misconception here is that a small meal must also be low in nutrients. Harold, who's 77, believed for years that breakfast wasn't worth much effort. He'd have a quick slice of white toast and a coffee, then wonder why he felt sluggish by mid-morning. For Harold, the turning point came when he realized that not all carbohydrates are created equal. Polenta, especially if you choose a whole-grain cornmeal, contains more fiber than processed white bread and can be prepared in a way that supports stable energy. Research in nutrition suggests that fiber helps slow the release of sugars into our bloodstream, preventing those mid-morning energy crashes. So Harold decided to experiment. Instead of toast, he made a small pot of creamy polenta first thing in the morning. To boost the fiber and flavor further, he sprinkled in flax seeds and paired it with a side of sautéed spinach. Suddenly, he noticed he wasn't hungry again until lunchtime, and his energy stayed more consistent. If you want to give this a try, start by choosing high-quality cornmeal, often labeled as coarse or medium grind, to retain more fiber. Cook it in water, low-sodium vegetable broth, or a mix of both. Let the polenta simmer slowly, stirring occasionally to reach a creamy texture. Once it's done, add in extra fiber sources, a tablespoon of ground flaxseed or chia seeds, fresh berries, or steamed leafy greens. You can also stir in a small amount of low-fat cheese or a splash of milk if you like a richer flavor. Another tip for making breakfast polenta simpler is prepping a larger batch over the weekend, then storing individual portions in your refrigerator. In the morning, you can reheat a portion on the stovetop or in the microwave with a bit of water or milk to bring back its creamy consistency. This approach is ideal if you have limited energy or mobility and prefer not to stand at the stove for a long time each day. And if you're dealing with arthritis or issues gripping utensils, a long-handled wooden spoon or a lightweight pot can make stirring easier. Emotionally, there's a certain comfort in starting the day with something warm and soothing. Many of us grew up with hot cereals like oatmeal, so a warm bowl of polenta can evoke pleasant memories while also providing a fresh twist. That sense of comfort can set a positive tone for your entire day, reminding you that nourishment can be both healing and enjoyable. Before we move on, remember that a heartier breakfast doesn't have to mean overeating. The goal is to infuse your morning meal with nutrient-dense foods that keep you feeling satisfied and energized. This simple shift toward a fiber-rich breakfast can make a surprising difference in how you feel throughout the morning. Less hungry, more focused, and more open to the day's possibilities. Now let's explore another angle that upends a common misconception: the idea that lunch and dinner need to revolve around a large serving of protein or a heavy main dish. In fact, you can let polenta be the star of the show while weaving in other fiber sources in a balanced way. Many seniors think a satisfying lunch or dinner absolutely requires a chunk of meat and a side of potatoes. But as we age, our bodies don't always process heavy meals as efficiently. Consider Margaret, age 83, who found herself skipping dinner more often because she just didn't feel like dealing with the aftermath of a heavy meal, like bloating or occasional acid reflux. She assumed that was her new normal. When Margaret discovered how versatile polenta could be at dinner, her routine changed dramatically. Rather than cooking a big roast or preparing a large portion of pasta, she began making a polenta pie. She'd pour cooked polenta into a pie dish, let it firm up slightly, then layer fiber-rich vegetables on top, like roasted zucchini, mushrooms, and tomatoes, along with small amounts of lean protein, such as ground turkey or beans. She topped it off with herbs and a sprinkle of cheese before baking. The result was a balanced, portion-controlled meal that sat more gently in her stomach. Even better, Margaret noticed she slept more soundly because she wasn't dealing with digestive discomfort. The evidence-based insight here is that incorporating plant-based proteins and vegetables alongside polenta can significantly boost your overall fiber intake. Polenta offers a slow-burning carbohydrate base, while beans, lentils, or chickpeas add both protein and additional fiber. Vegetables like broccoli, zucchini, and peppers bring vitamins, minerals, and even more fiber to the table. This multifaceted approach ensures you're getting a variety of nutrients that work together to support digestion, heart health, and stable energy. Practically speaking, if standing to chop vegetables is tough on your joints, consider using pre-cut veggies from your grocery store's produce or frozen food section. Many stores now sell diced onions, sliced mushrooms, and even riced vegetables. You could also invest in an affordable electric chopper that does most of the work with a simple press of a button. This way, you still get the benefits of home-cooked meals without the physical strain. Emotionally, shifting away from heavy, traditional meals can feel like a loss at first. We associate large dinners with comfort, family gatherings, and nostalgia. But once you experience the lighter, more comfortable sensation in your body and realize you can still enjoy delicious flavors, you may find a renewed sense of freedom. Dinner doesn't have to leave you weighed down or disrupt your sleep. Instead, it can become a pleasant, nourishing ritual that supports your well-being long after you've left the table. Give this polenta pie or layered casserole idea a try. You might even invite friends or family over to sample it. Sharing a meal can be a wonderful reminder that healthy changes aren't meant to isolate us. They can bring us closer to loved ones by creating shared moments of discovery. Speaking of which, I'd love to know how you currently feel about your go-to dinner options. Do you find them too heavy or repetitive? Feel free to reflect on that, and if you'd like, leave a comment sharing your favorite dinner staple that could be adapted into a polenta-based dish. Next, let's tackle a completely different use for polenta, turning it into an on-the-go snack that keeps you from reaching for processed, low-fiber foods. There's a persistent assumption that once we hit our 70s and 80s, snacks should be minimized or avoided because we don't need the extra calories. Actually, healthy snacking can be instrumental in maintaining steady blood sugar levels and preventing that late afternoon energy slump. Julius, age 79, used to snack on crackers, thinking they were light and harmless. But with almost no fiber and loads of refined carbohydrates, they left him feeling hungry soon after. Julius's daughter suggested making polenta wedges as a snack. He'd prepare a batch of polenta, pour it into a shallow baking pan, and let it cool until firm. Then he'd slice it into wedge-shaped fries. By baking or lightly pan-frying these wedges with a drizzle of olive oil, he had a crunchy, fiber-inclusive snack. He often sprinkled them with a little salt and pepper, or sometimes even cinnamon if he wanted something mildly sweet. Paired with a small side of yogurt dip or hummus, both of which can offer additional protein and nutrients, these polenta wedges became Julius's go-to mid-afternoon treat. From a nutritional standpoint, the benefit is twofold. First, polenta on its own delivers that slow-digesting carbohydrate and a decent dose of fiber, especially if you use a whole-grain cornmeal. Second, customizing the toppings or dips allows you to incorporate other nutrient-dense foods. A yogurt-based dip can add calcium, probiotics, and protein. A bean-based hummus provides even more fiber plus iron. This kind of balanced snacking can stave off unwanted hunger, reduce the temptation to reach for sweets or chips, and help maintain steady energy so you can enjoy your late afternoon activities, whether it's a walk with friends or a cherished puzzle. What about the emotional side of snacking? For many of us, snacking is a guilty pleasure, something we shouldn't do. But reimagining snacking as part of a healthy routine can lead to a more positive relationship with food. Instead of feeling guilty, you can feel satisfied knowing you're treating your body kindly, helping to stabilize your blood sugar, and keeping your digestive system on track. That small act of mindful snacking can be empowering, especially as you realize you're making choices that genuinely nurture your well-being. If mobility or energy is a concern, remember that you can cook polenta in large batches, freeze the wedges individually on a tray, and then store them in a freezer-safe container. That way, you only need to reheat the portion you want. Heating them in the oven, toaster oven, or even an air fryer can bring back that crispy exterior without the fuss of preparing them from scratch each time. This prep-ahead strategy works wonders if you need something quick and easy when your schedule or energy levels fluctuate. Now, before we move on to the final polenta twist, I invite you to take a moment and think about your own snacking habits. Are there times of day when your energy dips or your mood sours and a healthy snack could make a difference? If you can pinpoint those moments, polenta wedges or similar fiber-rich snacks might be the perfect addition to your routine. For our final approach, let's delve into the sweet side of polenta, a concept that counters the idea that desserts or sweet treats must be off limits once we're older. A lot of older adults believe they have to banish desserts entirely for the sake of blood sugar control, weight management, or heart health. But depriving yourself completely can lead to feelings of restriction, which can, ironically, cause stronger cravings. Flora, who's 80, always had a sweet tooth. She tried cutting out desserts entirely at her doctor's suggestion after a borderline blood sugar reading. It worked for a while, but then she found herself binging on ice cream late at night every few weeks. The guilt was overwhelming. The revelation came when Flora discovered polenta-based desserts that could be made with minimal added sugars and extra fiber from fruits. She started making a polenta pudding by cooking polenta with low-fat milk and stirring in mashed berries, like raspberries or blackberries, for natural sweetness. she'd sometimes add a small spoonful of honey or stevia to enhance the flavor. For an even higher fiber content, she'd fold in cooked apples or pears with their skins on. Because polenta thickens into a pudding-like consistency when cooled, it felt like a real treat without loads of refined sugar. From an evidence-based perspective, the fiber from whole fruits slows the absorption of natural sugars, which helps manage blood glucose levels more effectively than typical sugary desserts. Polenta adds another layer of fiber and can help you feel satisfied sooner, potentially reducing the urge to overindulge. Using aromatic spices like cinnamon or nutmeg can further enhance sweetness perception without piling on sugar. How can you replicate this at home? First, opt for a slightly finer grind of cornmeal if you want a smoother pudding texture. Cook the polenta in milk or a milk alternative like almond or oat milk if you prefer a dairy-free option. Stir constantly to avoid lumps. Once it's thickened, mix in pureed or finely chopped fruits. If you need extra sweetness, consider using a small amount of natural sweetener. Just be mindful that the goal is to keep sugar low. Spoon the mixture into cups or a glass dish, let it set in the fridge, and top it off with a sprinkle of nuts or coconut flakes for a bit of crunch. Emotionally, having a safe dessert option can bring a sense of relief and joy. It allows you to satisfy a sweet craving without feeling like you've compromised all your healthy eating efforts. This balance, enjoying a small indulgence that also supports your nutritional needs, can shift your mindset from one of deprivation to one of mindful enjoyment. If portion control is tricky, divide the pudding into single-serving cups right after cooking. This way, you won't have to worry about cutting even portions later. Many of us overserve ourselves without realizing it, especially when faced with a tasty dessert. By planning ahead, you can savor each serving and still feel in control. Now let's briefly connect the dots between these 4 polenta-based strategies: a nourishing breakfast, a balanced main meal centerpiece, a fiber-rich snack, and a mindful dessert option. All revolve around the same core principle. Small changes can have a big impact on your digestive comfort, your energy levels, and even your emotional well-being. At this stage, you might be intrigued by at least one of these polenta twists, maybe the breakfast polenta or the sweet polenta pudding. Adopting just one of these ideas could improve not only your fiber intake, but also your overall relationship with food. After all, introducing more fiber is about far more than just digestion. It's about feeling more comfortable in your body, having more energy to engage with family and friends, and maintaining the independence to do the activities you enjoy. It's important to act sooner rather than later, though. Fiber needs don't magically fix themselves, and the older we get, the more our bodies depend on nutrient-dense foods to keep everything running smoothly. Without enough fiber, you might continue to experience sluggish digestion, inconsistent energy levels, and perhaps even emotional frustration from feeling that your body is betraying you. The good news is that these simple polenta-based dishes can help you move in the right direction quickly. Imagine waking up tomorrow and looking forward to a warm, fiber-packed breakfast that doesn't leave you dozing off 2 hours later. Picture enjoying a satisfying dinner that doesn't weigh you down at night, a snack that energizes instead of depletes, and a dessert that brings genuine joy without the guilt. These small moments add up, creating a lifestyle that feels more balanced and fulfilling. Your next steps could be as small as adding one polenta dish to your weekly meal plan. If that feels manageable, you might move on to trying a new polenta recipe every few days. Or if you're feeling truly inspired, you could plan a polenta-themed lunch for friends, showing them that healthy eating can be fun, tasty, and surprisingly easy. Now I invite you to take action at whatever level feels comfortable for you. And if you just want to test the waters, try making a batch of breakfast polenta this week. If you're ready for more, explore 2 or 3 of the polenta dishes we've discussed. And if you're someone who loves sharing health insights, pass this video along to a friend or family member who might benefit from a fresh perspective on fiber. However you choose to proceed, remember that this journey is about empowerment, not perfection. You have the wisdom and the right to explore options that support your well-being. Polenta isn't a cure-all, and you should always discuss any significant dietary changes with a healthcare professional, especially if you manage conditions like diabetes or need to account for certain medications. But by taking these small, intentional steps, You're exercising your autonomy, demonstrating that you have both the desire and the ability to shape your health in meaningful ways. Here's to making choices that bring more comfort, energy, and hope into your life. Sometimes the path to better health is paved with simple, wholesome ingredients that remind us we're capable of creating positive change at any age. Thank you for spending your time with me today. I hope these ideas spark curiosity and inspire you to experiment in the kitchen. Even one new recipe can offer a glimpse of how much better healthy can taste and feel. As you close this video, keep your mind open to the possibilities of what polenta, or any similarly versatile ingredient, can do to enhance your meals. Your journey doesn't end here, it's just beginning. And in every new dish you cook, every healthy choice you make, you affirm that the later years of life can be a season of discovery, nourishment, and genuine pleasure.